a nice dress on. Matching underwear, always matching underwear for special occasions. You silver foxes, don't worry. I'm well aware that I've more chance of a medical emergency than pulling. So I'm from up north, a little village outside Manchester. It's called Rochdale. I don't know if you know it. Yeah. For them that don't know, it's famous for Gracie Fields, Lisa Stansfield, grooming gowns, the news topical. But I had an idyllic childhood. Yeah, idyllic. Smoking, drinking, underage sex. It was perfect. But it would have been perfect, except for my mother, she was barking mad. She was totally obsessed with the weight, proper yo-yo dieter. I'll give you an example. 1980, she was North West Slimmer of the Year. 1981, she was Face of Greg's. And we just used to laugh at her, but it stopped being funny when she got obsessed with me. She had me at Weight Watchers when I was 11. I don't think that's even legal. But it weren't so bad, because if I lost weight, we went to Chippy on way off. But it did give me a complex. You know, I wouldn't swim, I wouldn't wear a bathing suit. And that went on for years. And just recently I thought, oh, for God's sake, get a grip. And you know what? I went swimming. Oh my God, it was wonderful. Life-changing, exhilarating. You know what the best bit were? My tits floating. Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I mean, I know you're looking at me now and you're thinking, what's this old bird doing? Well, as we get grey, we start to get invisible. And I don't want to fade away. I want to go out screaming and shouting. So I've wrote a book.
Ooh!
Thank you. I've been on the chase.
Ooh!
I didn't win. Bradley's lovely though. And I've played live at Glastonbury.
Ooh!
I strung my ukulele in the car park and I'm having that. Well, my friend said there's something wrong with you. She said you've got like the opposite of the imposter syndrome. And I thought, is that something? So I googled it. Dunning-Kruger effect. Essentially, this happens when you burst in confidence, yet your skills don't quite match up with how great you think you are. I'm not having that. Only an effect, not an ism or a syndrome. Not on, is it? No. But my biggest challenge is that I've been married 36 years. Oh, that's a round of applause. 36 years. Don't seem a day over 50. 36 years. And when we got married, you know, we married until death do us part. I just didn't think it'd take this long. But we met and married within a year. He proposed to me at Bobby Ball's nightclub in Rochdale. Do you remember Bobby Ball, Rock on Tommy? Yeah, it's not been cancelled, has it? No, I can tell the story anyway. So yeah, proposed at Bobby Ball's nightclub and he got down on one knee. Now, to be honest, even after all these years, I'm not 100% sure he weren't just tying his shoelace. But I took it as a proposal and I had that wedding book by Monday. I did. But you know, it's like, I knew we'd always stay together. I knew we'd never separate, because back then neither of us wanted custody of kids. But we've had a bit of a wobble. Last month we had a real wobble. He'd had enough of me. And he said, you forgot you've got an husband. He said, it's either comedy or your husband. And I thought about it. Well, that really ticked him off. You know, I thought about it. So anyway, after he punished me physically, emotionally and financially. He made me take the grandchildren to Butlins. And then we came to a compromise. I'd only do 2 gigs a week. But I've got 3 this week. Yeah, I've got 3, but don't worry about it. I gave him a blowjob last night, so it'll be alright. But when I met him, you know, things changed, don't they? And he's changed. When I met him, he had a narrow waist and a broad mind. That's changed. But just recently, it's like been socially awakened. And it's all to do with the government has reduced men's alcohol intake from 21 units a week down to 14. I don't know if you knew that. And he's done the maths and figured out that 7 units a week, 350 units a year, and he says that's 70 pints. The government has stolen 70 pints from you men. Yeah, he's livid, absolutely livid. He's joined a protest group. It's called Men Against Restricted Drinking Institute. Mardy for short. And all them Mardy men's going to march to London and demand what has been taken be given back. And you know what? I'm quite proud of him. I'm proud that he's recognised social injustice. I'm proud that he's seen a wrong and he wants to put it right. But then I found out the real reason. You're not ticked him off, you're not putting him over the edge. He was saving them 70 pints for a stag do with Benidorm. Yeah, but I've changed. I mean, back then, it was all high heels and push-up bras. The night I met him, my boobs were pushed that high, they were level with his nose. His chat up line was, "Can I nuzzle in your bosom?" And I still took him on. I'm mad. But now it's all about comfort. Flat shoes, big knickers, comfort bra. If any of you ladies have not got a comfort bra, get one. Best thing ever. Keeps everything in place. Just not the place it used to be. But I used to like perfumes. I used to spend a fortune on perfumes. And back in the day it were Lulu. Do you remember Lulu? Oh, it was so strong, weren't it? So strong you'd smell me before I went into a room. Now I spend as much on air freshener so you don't smell me when I leave. But it's age related, you know, I get a lot of wind. But I'll never die in natural causes. It'll be methane poisoning or I'll spontaneously combust. That's a good joke. But there's always something, as we get older, there's always something. And I went to the doctor's the other week and I had tonsillitis. And as she's looking down my throat, she went, I think you could do with a colonoscopy. I thought, how far down can she see? So I go to the hospital and you're doing the consent form and he's telling me all the ways I can die and all the things that can go wrong. And then he said, and you may experience sexual arousal. Oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? So I'm at the hospital, I'm on my left-hand side. Has anybody else had a colonoscopy? You have, definitely have. Don't worry, it's just a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's alright. So I'm down the left-hand side and he's got the camera and he's having a good look round. And he leant over and he said, "Are you alright?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I said, "I'm not sexually aroused yet." He said, "Don't worry about it, dear, I am." Didn't it? It's a bit weird. But I've been blessed with children, and when my girls were teenagers, they were awful. They were feral, they were wild. They made me ill. The girls made me ill. Drugs, alcohol, all-night partying. I mean, that was just me to get me through them years, you know. But now they've got teenagers of their own, and that's called payback, isn't it? I called at my daughter's in the way in, and she was screaming and shouting at her oldest to clean her bedroom. So she runs upstairs, granddaughter runs upstairs, and then she's back down in 5 minutes. I thought, she's not done that room. So I went upstairs, room's done. Oh, it's under bed, isn't it? Everything's under bed. I thought, mother will go mental. So I start pulling stuff out. There's an empty bottle of vodka. She's only 13. I can't believe it, she's drinking. Get down on my knees, I'm pulling more and more stuff out. Cigarettes, there's cigarettes. I can't believe it, she's smoking. And then right at the back of the bed, I'm laying on the floor to pull all this stuff out. It's a packet of condoms. I can't believe it, she's got a penis. But I just want you to know that I love doing this. I mean, people say, how do you feel, you know, when it's really quiet and nobody laughs? I said, it's all right, because it's just like being at home. But I love doing this. It makes me feel alive, it makes me feel relevant, it makes me feel me. And that's really important. You've got to find something you enjoy like that. And my husband is jealous of that statement. He's jealous. And I said, go and find something you like. Go and find something that makes you feel that way. He says, I think I'll be a Morris dancer. I thought, crack on with that. So he goes down to Village Hall and all the Morris men are there. They're sat behind a table. He said it was like an interview panel. And they're asking him questions, things like, do you drink meal ale? Are you free bank holiday Mondays? Do you own an anorak? You know? And then they let him try the bells on. They put the bells on up his leg. He did some stamping around. He even let him do the handkerchief. He said he had amazing wrist action. No surprises. Amazing wrist action. Then the main man said to him, just one final question. He says, yeah. And he said, are you circumcised? The husband says, well, actually, yes, I am. And the man shut the book. He said, your application is not successful. The husband says, but why? He said, I answered the questions, I did the bells, I had great wrist action. Why? The man said, you don't meet the criteria. To be a Morris dancer, you've got to be a complete prick. On that note, thank you very much.